शिरडी की शहंशाह दुख हरता सुख का, अपने भक्तों के पल में दीजिए काज संभाल। सारी दुनिया में हमको सिर्फ है तुमसे आस, दया के सागर हर मन की तुम ही बुझाते प्यास। कोई कहे तुम राम हो, कोई कहता घनश्याम, हे महायोगी पा गया हमें तुम्हारा नाम। तेरे छूने से पत्थर भी पारस जाते हैं हो, अपनी करुणा की बरखा हम पर आज करो। जय हो साई राम, साचा तेरा नाम। चारों धाम के हो दर्शन, जाके तुम्हारे धाम। सब देवों का है संगम, सुखदाई तेरा नाम। जिनके मस्तक लगी तेरे चरण सरोज की धूल, उनके जीवन के पथ के शूल भी बन गए फूल। माला जप तेरे नाम की अब से करे अनेक, हमको क्यों बिसरा दिया इधर भी दो पल दे। दिए जलाए थे पानी से जिस तरह महाराज, हम गरीबों की किस्मत साईं बदल दो आज। जय हो साई राम, साचा तेरा नाम।
Islam, and greetings, Moors. Welcome back to another episode of Pardon the Interjection. I am your host, Supreme L, and would love to give high honors, extremely high honors, to your prophet, my prophet, our prophet, Prophet Noble Drew Ali, and all the active Moors. Activity is key. Here on Pardon the Interjection, we dig up information to divulge to the people in the upliftment of fallen humanity. And yes, we fell. As a people, as a nation, as an individual, we fell. But now it's time that we rise up again and take our rightful place amongst the affairs of men. Today we have another great show. We're going to be doing another reading and a continuation of Clocks of Destiny, Volume 2 by Brother C.M. Bay. But first I would love to give a great reading again out of the Holy Quran of the Moorish Holy Temple of Science, Circle 7, Chapter 7. And it is the friendship of Yeshua and Lamaze. Yeshua explains to Lamaze the meaning of truth. And it goes and says, among the priests of Jagannath was one who loved the Jewish boy, or Yahudi. Pardon the interjection. Lamaze Brahmas was the name by which the priest was known. One day, as Yeshua and Lamaze walked along in the plaza Jagannath, Lamaze said, my Jewish master, what is truth? And Yeshua said, truth is the only thing that changes not. In all the world, there are two things. The one is truth, the other is falsehood. And falsehood, that which seems to be. Now, truth is aught, and has no cause, and yet it is the cause of everything. Falsehood is naught, and yet it is the manifest of right. Whatever has been made will be unmade. That which begins must end. All things that can be seen by human eyes are manifests of aught, are not, are not, and so must pass away. The things we see are but reflexes, just appearing, while the ethers vibrate so, and when conditions change, they disappear. The holy breath is truth, is that which was and is and evermore shall be. It cannot change nor pass away. Lamaze said, "You answer well. Now, what is man?" And Yahshua said, "Man is the truth and falsehood strangely mixed. Man is the breath made flesh. So truth and falsehood are conjoined in him, and they strive, and naught goes down, and man as truth abides." Again, Lamaze asked, "What do you say of power?" Yahshua said, "It is a manifest, is the result of force. It is but naught. It is illusion, nothing more. Force changes not, but power changes as the ethers change. Force is the will of Allah and is omnipotent, and power is that will in manifest directed by the breath. There's power in the winds, a power in the waves, a power in the lightning strokes, a power in the human arm, a power in the eye. The ethers cause these powers to be, and taught of Elohim, of angel, man, or other things thinking. Direct the force. When it has done its work, the power is no more. Again, Lamaze asks, "Of understanding, what have you to say?" Yahshua said, "It is the rock on which man builds himself. It is the gnosis of the ought and of the naught, of falsehood and of truth. It is the knowledge of the lower self, the sensing of the powers of man himself." Again, Lamaze asks, "Of wisdom, what have you to say?" And Yahshua said, "It is the consciousness that man is aught, that Allah and man are one, that naught is naught, that power is but illusion, that heaven and earth and hell are not above, around, below, but in, which in the light of aught becomes the naught, and Allah is all." Lamaze asks, "Pray, what is faith?" Yahshua said, "Faith is the surety of the omnipotence, or omnipotence, of Allah and man, the certainty, the certainty that man will reach the or deific life, Faith is the surety of the omnipotence or the omnipotence of Allah, and man the certainty that man will reach the deific life. Salvation is a ladder reaching from the heart of man to heart of Allah. It has 3 steps. Belief is first, and this is what man thinks perhaps is truth, and faith is next. And this is what man knows is truth. Fruition is the last, and this is man himself, the truth. Belief is lost in faith, and in fruition faith is lost, and man is saved when he has reached deific life, when he and Allah are one. Islam. That's beautiful. Pardon the interjection. That is not deep. That is, let's say, Middle Earth. I mean, you can dig all the way through to the bottom and still can't find that. That's how deep that. Pardon the interjection. That's deep, and I like it. Pardon the interjection. That was really, 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 really inspiring, and I love it. I really, really love it, and that is really good. I cannot stop saying that's really, really good. I love that. Islam. Pardon the interjection. We're going to continue with the reading today of Clock of Destiny, Volume 2 by our brother C.M. Bay. And let's see how we can do this right here. I'm going to put something on. What is the Zodiac? Astrology means astrologic, or logic of the works of nature as shown in the 12 signs of the Zodiac, having to do with solution to problems in human characteristics. Revelation. The term revelation means to reveal or to make known to that which has been suppressed or shielded by selfish people of organized and dictatorial nature. Well, in the book of John, Revelation, the Zodiac is referred to as the 12 foundations, the 12 gates, the 7 seals, the 4 squares, and the measurement of man. The term Minevah means the number 9. That's Minevah, means the number 9. Thus, the zodiac of 360 degrees is squared by the number 9. Thus, this revelation means the very end of the doctrine of mystery, mythology, and organized theological dictatorship, and the rise of humanity with civilization, namely the science of astrology, the 12 signs of the zodiac. Here the entire earth will become that great city, Minevah, the number 9, with freedom, justice, peace, and economic and social progress. Let us remember that the atomic bomb of August 6, 1945 dropped on the Asiatics has made it possible for the entire human family to be set free of theological dictatorship. Geometry has never told a lie. After one has been taught the applied culture of astrology, the science of the 12 signs of the zodiac, they will understand what the mystic phase Tabul Cain means to them in their economic and social stride. Tabul Cain is one of the great passwords in mystic masonry. I, C.M. Bay, am a free-born Moorish American and well recommended by my universal law, the science of the 12 signs of the zodiac, in which I inherited from my Moorish forefathers of this northern hemisphere, who ruled the world and the 7 seas for 1196 years, to the Franciscan Revolution of 1789, and the Union of 1863 to 1898. The last 300 years of the 1196 years of Moorish world rulership, the half-breed generations of Moorish fathers suppressed the science of the 12 signs of the zodiac by brute force, from which resulted in mass ignorance, hatred, slavery, social caste, brutality, war, bloodshed, and destruction. From this resulted the fall of the Moorish nations order of Islam, namely the science of the zodiac, and the rise of the Franciscan order of Rome in the North Gate, North America, to rule the world and the seven seas up to 1941 and 1948. I have attempted to convey to the reader that the Moorish nation violated the universal law of the zodiac, which resulted to total corruption and their fall. The Franciscans inherited the Moorish corruption and ruled the world by it to the present. Both nations are equally guilty for their violation of the universal law, the 12 signs of the zodiac. Well, the 12 signs of the zodiac, the universal constitution, is still here in the North Gate, the hub of the universe. And so are the Moors and the Amazon Franciscans. They are referred to as Negroes, Indians, and white people in North America and no other place in the world. There's never been any people such as Negro, Indian, and white. Such names are in reality a universal crime against humanity. So let us resort to the zodiac and thus become as united American citizens for the first time in history. Again, freedom is everybody's job. 1025 Moorish calendar or 1605 Franciscan calendar, the evil act of the Moors and the Amazon Franciscans of South America, contrary to the zodiac, automatically converted the entire world, the minds of humanity, in that which is termed a living hell during the past 400 years. The fathers of civilization and offsprings. 1. The dark-skinned, kinky-haired, thick-lipped Moabite nation are the fathers of civilization, North, Central, and South America. 2. The dark-skinned, kinky-haired Moorish nation are the direct descendants of the Moabite nation. The term Moor means navigator of the seven seas, guided by the North Gate pole star. The Moorish nation prior to the Revolution and the Union of 1863 in North America is referred to as Spanish. 3. The ruddy or red-skinned, white quote-unquote Amazon Franciscan nations are the experimentation descendants of the Moorish nation. E pluribus unum is Latin, meaning one out of many races, castes, color, and sub-nations. The Great Seal on a U.S. $1 one note is that of the Moorish nation. It is contrary for a victorious nation to put on its currency the head of the defeated nation. Well, the head which the feathers on a U.S. early penny referred to as Indian is that of the white Amazon woman, and the head with the feather on the buffalo nickel is that of a white Amazon man. The redskins, the feather, and the eagle symbolize the height of their rulership and mystic royal crown at the top of the world, North Canada, CA/NADA. The term Franciscan means free man or Frenchman, or freedom and liberty, franchise, which automatically made North, Central, and South America the first France, and the people's Frenchmen, and spread abroad. The terms German and Jew were derived from Juryman, Jurimin, Jurimin, jurymen, or juryman, Juriman, based upon the 12 signs of the zodiac. Each sign of the zodiac is considered a jury, and the 12 signs are referred to as the 12 jurymen. The 12 signs of the zodiac is squared by 9. 9 goes into 360 degrees 40 times. Thus, the number 9 represents the 9 judges of the Supreme Court federal government. Masonry, or Islam. I am the widow son of 9, the first law. Star-Spangled Banner, the national anthem of the United States of North America, 1863, written by Francis Scott Key, Scott Free, during the decisive war between the Franciscans and the falling Moors. In the year 1814, which is equivalent to the year 1234, Moorish calendar year. For many years, the Union States of 1863 had no official national anthem. Finally, it was adopted as the national hymn. The Statue of Liberty on Bedloes Island in the Bay of New York was designed by Bartholdi, and that's Bartholdi, Bartholdi, and presented by the franchise, in parentheses, or free people of the Union States in the year 1888, in honor of the victorious daughters of the American Revolution who overthrew the Moorish Society of Islam. The statue was completed in 1886. On Ellis Island, all white, in parentheses, foreigners are taught to uphold the Union States rights myth of white supremacy before they can qualify for citizenship in good old U.S.A. The statue of the Christ of the Indies in Argentina, South America, was erected in the year 1892 in honor of the free Franciscan, in parentheses, sons of the Union Army of the North American Republic of 1863, who defeated the last of the falling Moorish nation from Cuba to the Isles of Hawaii and the Philippines between 1863 and 1898. The falling Moorish nations are referred to in the U.S.A. history books as Spanish. The Moorish nation's Latin surnames Bey, B-E-Y, and El, E-L. These surnames are the Moorish descendants of America without legal due process. Your Moorish nationality and name, Bey and El, comprise your birthrights, which will change you from being a U.S.A. Negro slave to a respected citizen. 1. B-E-Y, Bey, means Lord of the earth, meaning subdue the earth and make it yield all of the necessities of livelihood. Thus the earth obeys. Islam means I am the great. I am, namely you and me, woman and sons. 2. L-E-L means the center of wisdom or gravity, the law of attraction and the power of the human mind, education. 3. Allah means the Moorish woman, who is the mother of modern humanity, male and female of all different shades of skin or colors. 4. Al-Quran means the chronological record of the Moorish nation, namely the science of the 12 signs of the zodiac, the universal law and constitution, geometry, the square and angle of 90 degrees. The Franciscan Union States Rights Society of 1863, North America and abroad, is guided by the Magna Carta, or Magna Charta, and not the Constitution. The following reveals how the barbarians of the North America, the tribe of the Axe, A-X in parentheses, and the tribe of the Spear, allied together and became the ruler of the world and the seven seas between 1828 and 1898. The terms Anglia means spear and Sakia means axe Latin, AX Latin. The terms English and Anglo were framed from Anglia, and the term Saxon was framed from ax, AX. Phrased together brought about the Anglo-Saxons in North and Central America and spread abroad. The Anglia or English language was framed in 1828 in Virginia, from which resulted in the birth of the New World and New Nation. Prior to 1828, the Franciscan tribes were speaking various dialects of Latin, the language of the Moorish nation. Thus, the Anglia or English language is the manifestation of all spoken Latin dialects, which makes it the simplified universal language for the one race, the human race. And pardon the interjection, I want to just interject here, and that is really true because I've been listening to some Hindu talking and interviews because that's one of our closest people, because that's our family. They are our family, and in their tongue they do talk different dialects, but they also speak English, intermixing. They mix the English into that. So I find that really intriguing and wondering, because when I'm hearing them do interviews, like I hear a lot of, I'm not gonna say any names out there, but I see interviews where they're talking and they are talking in the dialect of Hindu or Hindi, and they are speaking English too. They speak English also. So I just want to throw that out there. So pardon the interjection. Please go check it out for yourself. And we continue. The history of the 12 signs of the Zodiac reveals that humanity on a global scale has been totally cut off from the truth for 400 years. Thus, the history of the 12 signs of the Zodiac has revealed to the reader the great chain of human progress through the scientific knowledge and ignorance during the past 51,840 years. From the Moabites to the Moors, and from the Moors to the Franciscans or the French or the Anglo-Saxons in parentheses. Where the dark-skinned, kinky-haired, thick-lipped Moabite or Moorish woman comes from, no one knows. There is not an animal in the world that has thick lips, kinky hair, and dark skin like her. All that which can be proved is that she is the mother of male and female, the human race, who reproduce their kind. Pardon the interjection. Did y'all catch that? Did y'all catch that? Because that's truth right there. That cannot be no more righter. I didn't say it, pardon. We all come from a womb. Where does the mother come from? Where does the womb come from? Because we know that you can't come through here and be here unless you come through that vortex, that womb, that birth canal. Mother, sister. We don't know. They oh. The mother has always been here. Who was first, Adam or Eve? That's a long-standing question that a lot of us ask ourselves, and a lot of religious people would tell you the penis was before the vagina. And I don't know any man that can birth a baby through that little penis. Pardon the interjection. And we continue. She, the Moabite or Moorish woman, is referred to as widow. Please do not take the wrong conception, because all female or women are equally mothers and sisters, and all female sons come into being by way of them. Therefore, all sons are brothers and sons of a widow. Islam. The real hell and purgatory. Ignorance of the scientific truth of the works of nature involving the inner nature and action and reaction of human beings, as shown in the 12 signs of the zodiac, results in a confused state of mind and mental and economic and social suffering referred to as hell. The real heaven, freedom, and peace. Salam. Knowledge of the zodiac gives one a perfect state of mind and reason upon that, namely, the forces of nature which dwell within themselves, and about them all of which is referred to as heaven, and happiness, and peace of mind with one's self. We have nothing to fear except fear itself. So seek scientific knowledge of the 12 signs of the zodiac. Then you will be set free of artificial culture and fear. Salam means peace in the Moorish language of Latin, and that's S-A-L-A-A-M, Salam. It is agreed that educated slaves are the greatest slaves, namely slaves as the result of false history and religious doctrine. Thus, the unconscious Moors of the U.S.A referred to as Negroes are the world's greatest slaves. They have been educated to believe that the white quote-unquote people bought their forefathers from Africa as Negro slaves and that Abraham Lincoln set them free in 1863, all of which is the greatest fallacy that the world has ever known. Mythical history of the North American barons. The names such as Africa, Egypt, Babylon, India, Negro, Greek, Mohammed, and Ethiopia are that of the product of the Franciscan Dutch priests, pirate masters of the Iron Cross Habsburg legions of Brazil, South America, between the Franciscans Revolution of 1789 and the Union of 1863, North America. The Moorish nation, namely the kinky-haired, dark-skinned, thick-lipped people, had no Muhammad as their prophet and neither God nor religion. The kinky-haired Moorish nation's law is geometry and the 12 signs of the zodiac, realities of which is described in this book, Clock of Destiny, the secrets of the Great Seal. I have attempted to convey to the reader's intelligence that Negro, Mohammedan, Indian, and African as human beings together is a myth of the philosophers of the Franciscan priesthood of the Revolution and the Union, and therefore have no history. Whenever the so-called intellectuals, politicians, lawyers, and representatives, Negro slaves, celebrate Negro History Week and boast of being proud of being a Negro, the white quote-unquote peoples of the Union enjoy a hearty laugh up their sleeves, because they know that the so-called Negro slave leaders represent the blind leading the blind, meaning Negro slaves have no rights that white quote-unquote women and men should respect. Partner interjection. Now, right there, when it says, the politicians, intellectuals, and lawyers representative Negro slaves celebrate Negroes History Week, they boast about being, Negroes. The white peoples of the Union enjoy a hearty laugh up their sleeve because they know that the so-called Negro slave leaders represent the blind leading the blind. So that's saying the leaders, the pastors and reverends, deacons, and congressmen, mayors, and all that, they know, when they pushing this Black Week and Black Month and Black History and all that shit, they know the Europeans are just laughing at us or laughing at them because they know that shit is false. They know there's no Black History Month. there's no Black History Week. They know that. That's why they sit back and they laugh. Because they know who we really are. Why y'all claiming to be black? They laugh at you because they know who you really are. They know that. The blind leading the blind. But are them leaders really blind though? Because they know who we are. But their pockets is being lined and laced. So they know. They know who we are. But they say ignorance is bliss. Right? Ignorance means to ignore the facts or to ignore something. So you know it, you just choose to ignore it. That's why these reverends, deacons, pastors, and so-called Congress leaders and mayors and governors, they know who we are. They know we Moors. But they getting a kickback to shh. Don't say nothing coming. And then it goes to say, meaning Negro slaves have no rights that the quote-unquote white men and women should respect. That goes back to a so-called Supreme Court judge saying something like that. Right? I think his name started with a T. Saying when you come in here with that black shit, they don't have to respect that. Anytime you say you black, we don't have to respect that crap. Because you should know yourself. And you should know better than to come in here with that black and I'm proud crap. Because you black and you proud, that means you dead and we own you. So we proud to own you. Pardon the interjection then. We continue. This fact is what Bilbo of Mississippi had reference to when he once asserted if he, Bilbo, could talk to the Negro from door to door as he wished, the Negro would never want to vote in white society again. Well, the contents of this little book, Clock of Destiny, has fully explained what Bilbo wished to tell the Negro slaves, but could not, owing to his obligation of the Christian Religious Union Society Order of 1863. The very same obligation that every white quote-unquote woman and man of the Order of Mary and Christ are under at home and abroad. So study the contents of this little book and thus redeem yourself from being a Negro slave by way of knowledge, minus violence, guns, atomic bombs, jet planes, and tanks. I, myself, am not a Negro, slave, and neither a Christian, yet I am your male brother. The mathematic trip around the world by way of the 12 signs of the Zodiac are referred to in Mason mythology as I am traveling east. Geography of the 12 signs of the Zodiac and the rise and fall of nations from 1605 to 1965. The fulfillment of 360 years of ignorance, fear, bloodshed, and destruction. Following this geography of the zodiac in a diagram of the earth revolving around the sun, making the 12 months of and signs during its annual revolution of 360 degrees. Each degree of the earth revolving around the sun represents a day. Thus 12 months of the zodiac comprise 360 days, which is the complete cycle of universal perfection. Firstly, I begin with Aries, the first sign of the zodiac, vernal equinox. When the rays of the sun are 1 degree in the sign of Aries, it is the first day of the spring season and the first day of the new year in harmony with the universal law of nature. The rays of the sun enter Aries at Sumatra, East India, on the Tropic of Cancer in the Northern Hemisphere on March 21st. Pardon the interjection. Happy New Year. When I say that March 21st is our New Year, so Happy New Year. And we continue. Here, the days and nights are universally equal. Aries, Taurus, and Gemini are the first three signs and months of the year. Thus, on June 21st, the rays of the sun are in its last degree of the sign Gemini, which marks the end of the spring season and the beginning of the summer season. 3 in the east signs of the zodiac, 5,400 miles. Thus, on June 21st, the rays of the sun are in the first degree of the sign Cancer. Here, the Earth is at right angles of 90 degrees, the longest day of the year. This 90-degree angle of the Earth to the sun occurs at Wake Island in the Pacific Ocean and is the east gate of the zodiac, referred to as the 3 in the east, meaning the first three signs of the zodiac, high noon. 3 in the north signs of the zodiac, 10,800 miles. Extreme east, 180 degrees, New York and Boston, U.S. Now the North Gate. Cancer, Leo, and Virgo are the three signs in the North Gate. The rays of the sun enters Cancer at Wake Island and ends at California or Khalifa land on July 22nd and enters the sign Leo and ends on August 22nd on the line of New Orleans, St. Louis, Missouri, Chicago, Illinois, and Northwest Canada or Canada. Thus, all the land from Alaska to Mexico and from California or Khalifa land to St. Louis, Missouri lies in the region or the sign Leo. Universal Standard Time is measured from Denver, Colorado to the sign Leo. In the year 1884, the measurement of time and geography was shifted from the U.S.A. to the island of Albion, or Albine, known as the British Isles or England at Greenwich. Thus, on August 23rd, the rays of the sun enters the sixth sign Virgo and ends on September 23rd at the Arch of Greenland, the deep waters of Boston, Massachusetts, and the eastern coast of Florida. On September 23rd, the sun is in its last degree of Virgo, the last sign of the North Gate, the sixth sign of the zodiac, 180 degrees. Here, you are referred to the diagram of the zodiac. Thus, on September 24th, the Earth turns from the sign in the north to the sun in the southern hemisphere in the sign Libra at Abydos, Brazil, South America, and ushers in the fall season in the northern hemisphere and the spring season in the southern. Here again, the days and nights are universally equal, the fall equinox. 3 in the west signs of the zodiac, 16,200 miles. The signs Libra, Scorpio, and Sagittarius comprise the west gate of the zodiac on the Tropic of Capricorn in the southern hemisphere. The signs Libra and Scorpio lie in the Atlantic Ocean. Thus, the rays of the sun pass through Libra September 24th to October 23rd, and October 24th to November 21st. And partner interjection, that's me, that's my solar return, October 24th. So big ups, I just want to throw that out there. Partner interjection, and we continue. Scorpio and enter the ninth sign Sagittarius on November 22nd at Windhoek in southwest Africa and remains until December 21st. Thus, on December 21st, the rays of the sun are in the last degrees of the ninth sign, Sagittarius, which makes the shortest day of the year. Here, the Earth has evolved 270 degrees of the zodiac, the ninth month of the year, and the end of the fall season, low moon. Three in the south signs of the zodiac, 21,600 miles. Pardon me. The signs Capricorn, Aquarius, and Pisces comprise the South Gate and the last of the 4 squares of the 12 signs of the zodiac and year. Thus, on December 21st, the rays of the sun enter the sign of Capricorn, the 10th month and sign of the zodiac, which mark the beginning of the winter season in the northern hemisphere and the beginning of the summer season in the southern. Here the people enjoy summer in the South, South America, Africa, and Australia and New Zealand, while the people in the northern hemisphere undergo icy weather. And in July, the people in the southern hemisphere undergo winter, while the people in the northern enjoy summer. Thus, on January 19th, the rays of the sun enter the sign Aquarius, the 11th month and sign of the zodiac, midwinter. Thus, on February 20th, the rays of the sun enter Pisces, the 12th month and the 12 signs and last sign of the year and end of winter season. The 12th sign, Pisces, is the complete circle of 360 degrees or days termed a year. The Indian Ocean and Java East Indian line in the 12th sign, Pisces, the South Gate. Here you are referred to the diagram of the zodiac. Opposite of the sign Gemini, 90 degrees, is the sign Sagittarius, 270 degrees. The Earth is square. And opposite of the sign Virgo, 180 degrees north, is the sign Pisces, 360 degrees south. These 4 points on the universe, Earth, are referred to in Masonry as the level and the plume, or the negative and the positive forces of nature upon which the world took form, the universal law of nature, perfection. Upon this perfect foundation of the universal law of life, realities, and existence, the Franciscan Catholic Daughters of the American Revolution established the mythical or unreal doctrine of Holy Mother Mary and Son Christ in the year 1854. The planet Uranus governs human revolution and new social orders. It requires 84 years for the planet Uranus to pass through the 12 signs of the zodiac. Thus, in 1928, the planet Uranus had evolved its last degree of the 12th sign of the South Gate of the zodiac in the regions of the Indian Ocean and Java East India. It crossed the equator into the sign Aries, the first sign of the East Gate of the Northern Hemisphere, and remained in Aries until 1935. That position of Uranus influenced the masses of Asia and modern Europe to revolutionary action to free themselves from under the influence of the iron-handed rulers of the Franciscan priesthood. In 1935, the planet Uranus entered the sign Taurus, the second sign of the East Gate in the Northern Hemisphere, and remained in Taurus until 1942. The sign Taurus rules over the island of Japan. Thus, the revolutionary influence of nature of Uranus in Taurus, the bull sign, influenced the Japanese masses to sudden, violent action against the powerful rulership of the Franciscan order. In 1942, the planet Uranus entered the sign Gemini, the last sign of the East Gate and the first 90 degrees east longitude of the zodiac, which ended at Pearl Harbor and Wake Island in 1949. And we're going to hold it off right there because we're coming up to the hour of the show, and we will continue from here on out in part 3. And this is Clocks of Destiny Volume 2 by Brother C.M. Bay. And we will continue this. We will continue that. And that is a great read, and more information to come. And like I said, it's definitely a great build. Definitely a great build, family. And as always, I say it's a beautiful time to be alive more because a lot of information is coming to light, and it will be coming to light even more as we get into this more in depth. So with that being said, don't believe me. Go check it out, and you'll be amazed at the jewels you'll find on your treasure hunt, Moors. Because like I always say, is if you could buy some shoes, some Jordans, and all that, you could take a few of them notes and buy some, invest in some books, invest in the library, build your library up. Please build your library up because information saves a nation. That's why the prophet said, if I could just get my people to think, they will save themselves. So think and read, read. Read everything in there. If you possibly can, just read everything. Get your library up, build your library up, okay? Because that's gonna be key to saving you. Because that's what's gonna save you. So, I mean, with that being said, I mean, we're gonna have to come back, like I say, with part three, and we will be back with part three of Clocks of Destiny, Volume 2. My brother C.M. Bay. And with that, I say, as always, thank you for joining me on another episode of Pardon the Interjection. I am your host, Supreme L. Until next time, stay safe, family. As always, Islam, love, and peace forevermore.
Dreamy and drooling, falling for the fooling. Mental slaves sell out or get bought out for cooning. Being your example to follow with no strain. Meant means mine, so govern and entertain is more than you imagine. Carbon is melanin, Quran and Bible angels are cherubim and seraphim. Riding on the light angles, traveling at warp speed. We created course reads, now we can't walk free. The mind is the plantation, everything is mental. Even filling your brother with lead like a pencil. Mercenaries with chalk use bodies as a stencil. If rival gangs won't stop you, barbed wire fence will. It could take more, but it might take less. Cursing your God on Job's cash in the fake checks. Spending fake monopoly money, counterfeit at best. When you see something is wrong, you need to counter it best as you can. You don't need a magic wand or to click your heels twice to escape dreamland. Just use your mind. If you can't relate, you're living in an illusion, slave to the dream state. Just heard about you, Ali, don't think he's late. He brought nationality and link back to your east state. As Negro and black, we act like we can't see straight. Shake them by the shoulders, wake them from their dream state. If you just heard about you, Ali, don't think he's late. He brought nationality and link back to your east state. As Negro and black, we act like we can't see straight. Shake them by their shoulders, wake them from their dream state. Invasion. True Ali, my water when the fire starts blazing. Running with the holy buckets of Caucasian. While Asiatics daydreaming, mental stargazing. Not paying attention, but paying taxes and fines. Now I said the world is yours, he really meant mine. If I ruled the world, you wouldn't want to be black. You wouldn't want to be a deadbeat dad or be whack for sure. You wouldn't want to be the dirty moral leader. Convicted and facing my firing squad either. You won't be put in a box, forget the cedar. Taking tires off cars at unexpired meters. If I rule the world, dirty Moors would hate it. Find them with their wrists slit in bathrooms naked. Find them holding scimitar handles slumped over with suicide notes to Jehovah. If you just heard about you, Ali, don't think he's late. He brought nationality and link back to your east state. As Negro and black, we act like we can't see straight. Shake them by the shoulders, wake them from their dream state. If you just heard about you, Ali, don't think he's late. He brought nationality and link back to your east state. As Negro and black, we act like we can't see straight. Shake them by their shoulders, wake them from their dream state.